Okay, we are live on Facebook.
Hi.
Let's give it a minute and then I will start.
I always feel like you sound like a doctor when you do that. It'll
For
be
me?
1 minute. You'll be counting down to 10, 9.
Give us a minute. That's funny. Okay. We have
No, no.
Jody Cohen is watching.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm sorry. Don't worry. I don't know why that always does. I had it on silence, I swear. No clue. This is Jana, and it's Lissa's doing all that. So
Jana, it's still going.
I know. Go ahead.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
good.
Got it.
Are we good?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. All the audience. See, Stacy, we need to get fired on this one job. Go
Fired
ahead.
on the Facebook job. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. We are live with the Virgin Authors. Welcome to the show. The Virgin Authors are three friends bonded by our love of writing, struggling to navigate the publishing world. Writing can be a lonely profession, and we've decided that supporting other authors along the journey is just as important as our daily word count. My name is Mandy McGuire, and I am a Virgin Author.
Hey, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy. I am Lissa Reese, and I know we said 3, so if anyone's confused, the 4th is our special guest for today, who we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah, hi, Lissa, and I'm Jana Van. Jana. It's nice to see everybody.
Jana.
And I'm going to introduce our special guest. So STACEY POWELLS worked for Paramount Pictures for almost 20 years. She's licensing music for television shows such as Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Entertainment Tonight, and the first Arsenio Hall show. She is the winner of the 2020 Jeff Arch Fellowship and has been a writer for the Mammoth Times for over 20 years. Her play, titled Stirrups, was showcased at the 2016 New York Theater Festival and has been produced in several small theaters. She has written for multiple magazines, is shopping around her young adult book series, and her blog, This Crazy Life by STACEY POWELLS, can be found on WordPress. STACEY is a virgin author like us, deep in the query process in multiple formats. Please welcome our friend STACEY.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. I'm happy
Thanks
to
for
be
being
here.
here.
Thank you so much.
Excited having you here. Stacy, really quick before we go get going, because I want to hear everything. You're amazing. But we do the word of the day. We try to do that. And today, if you guys can guess it, all of our guests that are on here, type it in down in the chat and make a comment on it, and then type it in. And as soon as we get a winner, I'll let you know, but it'll be a frequently used word, people. So let's do it. And if you get the first one to guess, where are we? There it is.
Can't see that with the glare. Here you go. Virgin author mug. Oh,
Very exciting.
yay.
It's got lips. So, okay, so type it in, and so we know you're here, and we want to say, Lena, thank you. We've got Jody, thank you. Jack, thanks. Everybody, thanks for being on. Okay, go ahead, Stacey. I'm so excited.
So I'm going to go, we're going to talk tonight about the query process, and Stacey's here to chat with us, and we're all going to kind of share what it means and what it does, and it's a dreaded thing, in my opinion. But for someone who's a new author, the query is an email that writers either write to agents, editors, or publishers with the goal of seeking representation so that we can get an agent to then pitch our book out to publishers. So what I'd like to know first to get us started, and we can see if Stacey can start, like, how do you find the agents or editors or publishers that you're pitching to? And then how do you track all of your submissions?
So, wow. All right. So finding agents, there's Query Tracker, there's Query Manager, there is the writer's market. There are numerous ways to just Google agents with your genre in there, like memoir or women's fiction or whatever it is. And with Query Tracker, which I use for Lockbox. Lockbox is my YA book, my first YA book in a series. And I have queried agents, probably about 60 of them. 60 pages
for that one book.
for lockbox for
Yeah.
that one.
Which
Oh,
is
so
And-
what
really
period of time,
normal.
Stacey?
It's very normal to do that, you know, so.
Right, but every agent has their thing that they want. They either want 5 pages and a synopsis, or they just want the first 5 pages. They don't want any synopsis. They want the first 20 pages. It depends. They want your bio. They want this. They want that. They want to know if you take showers in the morning. I mean, it's definitely everyone is different, and so you have to really do your research. Whether you're querying agents for books, literary managers, because let's say I have a bunch of projects, so I'm querying right now literary managers because I need one manager to take on all these projects and just figure out where they all need to go. As a book author, you guys know there's publishers that take non-agented writers. So you have to look and do your research and see what kind of books they publish and see what their submission guidelines are. It is so important to look at the submission guidelines because they have to be different. And you also, when you do your research on the agent or the manager, go to Publishers Marketplace, or find out what this manager or agent or whoever likes, what kind of book they like, what kind of drinks they like to have. Do they play pool? Find something that you can kind of start your query letter off with that lets them know that you've been doing your research and that the query letter that you're sending to these people are not just the same thing that you're sending to everybody else. So that's really, really important.
That's
And
a great tip. That's
Yeah.
really, really good.
It's
Yeah.
really, really important. And
Lots
it's just
like
like
dogs,
magazines.
or they like, they don't like to necessarily be sucked up enough, but if you could say, or you can say someone that you represent. This book is similar to
Right. Those are the comps.
Anna Vandelar, who you represent, and and then they know that you've been researching them a little bit instead of just blindly.
I always go to their website and find out what I can about them there, as well as their page on the website for the agency that they work at. But Stacey, I was wondering how long of a time period did it take you to send those 60 out? Do you do 10 a week? Do you do 10 a month?
I'd say probably over 18 months. I did that because I'm involved in some other projects too, but a couple people wanted like the next 25 pages, but I never got somebody asking me for the entire manuscript. So of course, as an insecure virgin writer, and I'm really going to look for the day when I can pop that virgin bubble and say, hey, I've been published. I'm no longer a virgin writer. But until that happens, it's you have to be okay with rejection, and you have to be okay with them not even saying anything to you, because a lot of the agents and managers will say, if you don't hear from us in 8 weeks, just figure that we didn't want your stuff. And then you have to look and see if, like, you have a big agency, there could be 20 agents and one agent, and they tell you do not query more than one agent at a time in our agency. So you have to keep that in mind. And what I do, I just have an Excel spreadsheet, and it's huge, and it just is my submissions for Lockbox, for anything for love. It's for magazines, because as authors and virgin authors, if you can get your stories, and if you can get short stories in magazines, that lends credibility to your book. And sometimes, I heard it happens that sometimes an agent or a manager or somebody will read your story and go, hey, I need to know more about this writer. And then they will contact you, that way.
Wow.
Really quick too on that one. You were saying, did you ever revise your query?
All the time.
I know I did too, and I'm not sure. Did you do
All the
that?
time. So I was doing PitMad, and unfortunately they're not doing it anymore. PitMad was something Twitter did where you had 12 hours to do wherever the characters are for Twitter. Was it 226 characters, whatever it is? And to pitch to put it out there, and then you have to do the hashtags, for your category. And that really helped me hone in what Lockbox was about, for example. So for example, I put a hit and run that was no accident. The only survivor wakes from a coma with a freakish new ability, a twin sister who isn't very dead. Setting his broken heart aside, Elijah needs help finding out who killed his family. And that was it.
Wow, that's great.
And so I had to get
really condensed.
It's very
condensed.
concise.
PitMad helped me condense, because in a query letter, you really have only 300 words or so to do the whole thing: your introduction, the meat of your story, and your bio. And because the attention span of agents and managers and producers and everybody is this. So you want to grab their attention as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
really,
so I'll add on to what Stacy was saying is, for
yeah.
those who haven't queried much, that query is just that email that contained the things that Stacy was just saying. You don't send the full manuscript, you don't send pages unless they ask you for that.
Mhm.
So you're getting rejections left and right, and they've not even read your work at all.
Mhm.
Did you,
Exactly.
I was going to ask you again, Mandy, did you change yours around at all? Because you were massively submitting. I was like, you were submitting as we were talking sometimes.
I was. So I did. I pulled up my numbers just because I was curious, and I'm preparing for the day that I am published and I'm on the speaking tour at conferences.
We're
And
all gonna be there, girls. We're all gonna
keeping my data. But my first book, I submitted 20 times just to agents alone. The second book was 46 times. And then my third book, I pitched 87 times to an agent. And then I got my agent for that book, but I didn't get it from a pitch, right? If people have watched the show, I got it from a contest. But you send out 5, you send out 10, and you keep kind of doing it in chunks. And then if you don't hear anything, or if they just have quick no's and they're not asking for pages or anything, you have to try and revise it and figure out how to make it grab their attention. And then I had friends read it. I had and a couple editors read it. You have to try and revise. And
Yeah.
I even did something kind of weird towards the end, after I think I was over probably 60, and I'm, losing all hope in the world. All
I
hope
kept cheering you on, though. We all did. That's
yeah,
great
you
about
did.
you guys.
Jenna's really good about that.
All of us have to be cheerleaders for each other. 'cause,
But I kind of got to, I think I was over 60, and I'm just like, it doesn't matter what I do. A no is a no if you don't ask, right? So I went back to people who had not replied at all, and I sent them like, I think it was like one sentence and like 3 bullet points and then my name. And it was like a reminder email of what I had sent them. And no conference has ever told you to do that. Like, that's not best practice. Like, I've never heard that before, but I got 2 people that,
I mean, if you're not doing it, it's still a no. So you might.
yeah, right. And I got 2 people who then replied afterwards from that, but I sent out probably 20 of those to people and never heard of a thing. But you have to try new things.
Sorry, Stacey.
Just have to say hello to Deborah Engel. It's good to see you, girl. Yvette Taylor, thanks for being here. Melody White, Lena Lambert. I have a friend that's named Lisa Lambert, so hi. And then Yvette Taylor and Elise Hoyt. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. You guys, thanks for being here. And really quick, because I really want to get back to Stacy too. We all do. You guys talk to each other in the chat too, and get names and or maybe write what you're interested in. Don't forget to do the word of the day, because you get to win the mug for those of you that came on late. So whatever we're saying a lot today, put it in and then you might win the mug. Okay, I'm sorry, Stacy, but I had it because
All good.
we have all
Got
these
off on the sidetrack.
Yeah,
It's all good.
no.
I also wanted to say too, in lieu of pitching to agents and managers and whoever, I'm to the point where I am calling in all my favors and calling people who might know people, who might know people, who might know people, especially with the TV show that I've created with my writing partner called Beverly Hills Pharmacist. I am just laying it all out there. I mean, I worked in the entertainment industry for many years. I've got friends who are in the entertainment industry, and I know that this is a great series because I lived the life of the daughter of a Beverly Hills pharmacist. So aside from Lockbox, which I also think is going to be a great series, I mean, I'm calling all my favors for Beverly Hills Pharmacist because it's done, it's ready. Let's get this thing done already. I'm running out of time. I'm blah, blah, blah years old, and I'm not going to be on the planet in 50 years. And so I need this to go. And I worked a full-time job and raised 2 boys, not the best, but whatever. I raised 2 boys and now I'm writing full-time in addition to kind of working more, but I feel like a sense of running out of time. It's ridiculous, I'm sure, but I kind of am. And I'm thinking,
COVID, the COVID stress. I mean, we're all like, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And just trying to think about being a creative and being an artist, whether you're a writer or you're an actor or you're a painter or a sculptor, you have to put your stuff out there and go, hey, look at my creativity. I need you to help me get it to the next level. And that's scary as, it's scary to do that. And we have to rely as writers, we have to rely on other people to love our stuff, to want to sell our stuff, to want to make money on our stuff. And it's exhausting. It is downright exhausting. It really is. And time management, I really suck at that. I'm having to force myself to, this. And as you guys know, I travel a lot. And by traveling a lot, it throws my mojo off. And even though I'm grateful I get to work, because I just have my little computer and I can go, I need to set goals, for the next 6 months, because I don't want to be exhausted, by being all over the place. I want to be able to query this agent. I want to be able to talk to this producer. I want to get my stuff out there. And as you all know, we also have, in the middle of the business of writing, we have to write.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
when
Creative side.
we all need assistants who should be able to query for us, so we can just write. That's all we want to do is write. We don't
Yeah.
want to do the business. We
Yeah.
want to write, but that's not a reality until we become, the next James Patterson or the next Diana Gabaldon or whoever. We have to juggle the business of querying along with trying to finish whatever it is project we're working on.
Lissa had a really great, I'm sorry, Lissa, but you had a really great way that you separate out the things every day of the week. It was a really good
Day
process.
batching. Day batching is brilliant. And I will put
Right,
that
right.
on our website because
Yeah, it was great.
it was a blog I read, and she talked about assigning specific tasks to specific days. So I write on Mondays and Wednesdays. I do my support networking on Thursdays. And so what happens is, if you're anything like me, whatever comes in is the most important. So I would drop what I'm doing to go do something else because somebody sent me a text and they need me to go do something. So with this day batching, you just make a note on your page for that day, and then you stop thinking about it and you go back to what you were doing. So that,
It was
sort
really
of
great. You sent
brilliant
it to me too.
for someone like me.
Day batching.
Yeah, I put it in our comments for everybody. I hope I spelled it right, Lissa, but yeah, we'll put it on our website too. So, but no, Stacey, I don't know how you're doing anyway. It's a TV series, right? For the pharmacy.
Beverly Hills Pharmacist is a TV
Yeah.
series. Yes.
And then you've got the books and you've got,
I've got a book coming out in October called Empty Cupboards. So I'm right in the
you have
middle
a-
of, what was that?
Can you show us anything yet, or is it still under wraps?
No, I asked my team, and there's watermarks on the cover and everything. So it's not quite ready yet because he doesn't really like the way that the medicine bottle in the cupboard is leaning. So to dealing with that. There's so much involved.
Details.
I decided to self-publish this book because I wanted to see what it was like to self-publish, and I wanted to get it out there. I was so over querying from Lockbox that I'm thinking, you know what, I'm just going to self-publish this and see what I can do and see how I can manifest this and see how I can market this book. So that's taking up a lot of time. And then there's my other funny memoir, Diary of a Sugar Addict. And I'm working on that with Deb Engel and her group. And that's because I've been addicted to sugar for a long time. So they're diary entries, and I'm working on that. And then The Inch Between Us, which is my memoir about my older son, finding out what the heck happened to him. And I've got my women's fiction, Anything for Love, that is done. I'm sending that to an editor. My younger son and I have worked on he came up with a brilliant idea for a screenplay. It's called Fairy Ghost Mother, and we're working on that. And there's a bunch of other stuff, so how do I do that? Well, like I said, I do have ADD, but I don't have writer's block, because if I can't figure out what to do there, I just go to another project. And then in between all that, I have a fabulous husband who needs a wife.
right?
So he's so patient. I got to shout out to my husband, Dan. He's just so patient, and he's made it possible for me to just, really do this. And he knows if I'm talking to him, and he knows when I glaze over, he goes, what scene are you thinking about writing right now? He totally gets. Living with a writer is not easy. I mean,
All
it's
our
shout
husbands.
out to
God
all
bless
the
all our husbands, because
husbands,
I
man.
don't think I'd
It's not
eat
easy.
if my husband didn't feed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I just have to say, we have to say hello. Deborah Engel is listening, Stacy.
Hey,
Yay!
Said hi earlier, but yeah, we said hi, but yeah, we're so
And
excited.
Melody Wrights is here and Elise Hoyt, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, I know
gosh.
Elise.
And
Elise is one of my
Jarrett
close friends.
Jackson, we're so glad you're here.
And I gotta say a shout out to Jarrett Jackson, fabulous writer. One of these days you're gonna know that name. She's gonna be a household name. I just have to say it. One of these.
I wanted to comment, Stacy, on all of your different projects. I mean, we have so many writer friends that do the same thing. Like they write different genres, or they do screenplays and they do novels. You know, I just find so many people, I mean, they're just creative in all their different ideas and ways.
Yeah, it's true. And I found, so I belong to Stage 32, which is a pitch magnet for television shows and things. And I actually pitched Beverly Hills Pharmacist to an agent there. And I read her bio. And the reason I picked her was because she says her agency is looking for somebody who doesn't write just one genre. They want to represent somebody who they know they can have a lifelong relationship with.
yay.
And so
Yay. Cross the fingers.
Your brand is special.
Oh my gosh.
So is what
Okay,
you do.
sorry, guys.
Oh
Oh my gosh, I am such a I can't even, I don't even know how. I'm just trying to.
Her Facebook is, she's, okay, you wanted to be off the job, you're off the job.
I know,
I'm just teasing, but Jana and Lisa, what about you guys? How many times have you queried?
Okay, I have only queried one of my projects because there's only one that has been out to a professional editor and I felt like was polished enough to go anywhere yet. And I have to be honest, I gave up really quickly. I probably sent 20. I entered it in some contests that I'm still waiting to hear back about, but
yeah.
So which
I know I have to
story
do
is
it. I'm
this?
just putting it off. What's that?
Which story is this?
This is Dream Chaser, which is my women's fiction speculative book that's set in 1959. It's about a woman who creates alternate realities when she dreams. And it's a really fun story.
It is.
So, and when I pitch it, I get a lot of positive reinforcement. I get a lot of requests for the manuscript, but then
Yeah. So
never
that's
hear again.
another way then for new authors is to pitch. So if you go to conferences, you can
Mhm.
either get pitches or you can purchase pitches to
mhm.
sit in front of an agent or an editor and just tell them about your story. And that's a way then for them to request to see full manuscript. So we've all been doing that for a while too.
Yeah,
listen-
Kauai Writers Conference is coming up in November. And
Yes.
not only is it pricey, but I did sign up. Like the minute I got the email, I signed up for 5 agent pitches.
You
I
did.
looked at them all and they're all different genres. And I'm going to pitch all of them while I'm there because
Oh, because you have so
And
many
that
different projects. to
I like
pitch.
the eye to eye pitch. And that's what I like about Stage 32, for pitching TV and film projects is because you can Skype them and you can actually see them. So they
Yay.
can see that you're not a whack job
and
and it's serious.
I just want to say about Kauai Writers Conference, not only are there agents and editors to pitch to, but there are professionals in the industry and agents and editors who you can send pages in advance and they will give you feedback.
Right.
So maybe you can figure out why your pitches aren't going anywhere.
But with
That's
Lockbox, after all the times I thought, you know what, I'm going to send this to, I found a fabulous editor on Reedsy and she loved Lockbox, but she sent she sent me a 45-page editorial letter in
Wow.
addition to doing the line by line stuff.
Oh.
And I thought I had it pretty good because I had it to another editor. I had it, writers group did it. My husband edited it. And I thought it was a pretty good story, but oh my gosh, does she know what the heck she's talking about? And so I'm going to have to spend 2 weeks just redoing Lockbox, maybe more. And so, because I'm not pitching, I'm not sending that query out yet because I know that it's going to be better based on what this editor has done with my YA book. And
Okay, listen, we have only about 5 more minutes. So if anyone has any questions for Stacy, you can type that in the chat, or I know the 3 of us have more questions for Stacy.
I know we could. Yeah, I was going to also remind people to I don't think anyone has tried to guess yet. So you have a 100% chance of trying to win our lovely mug. But Stacy, this is the thing. And actually, Mandy, you could help too. When you get the edits back, do you guys query before you, or do you just start querying, or do you do the full editing before you query so that it's perfect?
I thought I did full editing until I got this editor's notes back. I thought, I mean, I had beta readers, the middle school here where I live in Mammoth Lakes. I had 6 middle schoolers read Lockbox and they loved it. And their big comment was, how could you end it like that? We want to know what happens. And I'm like, it's a series. Thank you very much. You know, and so I had them read it. I was really lucky that one of the teachers I know here, and she gave it to these readers and they loved it. And I thought, well, they loved it. I did all these edits. And then I hire this other editor and she's just going to make it even better. So I thought I had a pretty good manuscript, but after 60 queries or so, not a real bite. And I'm thinking maybe it needs a little more work.
So, was this a professional editor you sent
Yes.
it to for this specific reason?
Yes. She's a YA. She's also an agent. But she edits YA books. Yeah.
So I think we'll definitely have another Facebook Live. Maybe we can get an editor on here too, because I remember at the very beginning of my writing career, the question always is, when do you pay for an editor? Should you pay for an editor? Should you just have beta readers and friends because you're not selling, you're not published yet? Like, how do you do that? So we can maybe get an editor on here to chat as well.
I think that we need an editor for queries. That's my new invention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pay for
Well,
an
there
editor.
are people who do that. There are
Probably,
definitely people who do
right?
that. All right, listen, I'm sorry we're out of time because this has been great fun, but
This went by fast.
It does.
it did. So you can find us on virginauthors.com for our website, and on there you'll find information about each of the 3 of us, and obviously on the Facebook page, if you're watching this live, you know about that.
Deborah
Please
Engel
support
also-
us.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Lisa, really quick. Deborah Engel did put in the link for Kauai's conference. So sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
And all 3 of the Virgin authors and Stacy will be in Kauai together in November.
So come and chat with us there. Oh, maybe we'll do a live edition from Kauai.
We could do that.
Good idea.
We need a flower lay.
Right. Sorry. Lisa.
Right, until next time, we are the Virgin Authors.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, did you get a guess?
We didn't. I'm so sorry because I'm always interrupted at the end here, but that's the word thing. We have to wrap it up. Elise, I think you're closest, but that's not it yet. One more guess, anybody? It starts with an A. Deborah, you're going to be on it with us if you.
We have a Yvette Taylor here too. If someone knows her, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I've been trying to say hi in the comments. I'm not interrupting. You guys, thank you for joining. And again, try to connect with each other. Look at our comments later. You'll see everybody. I think you can see comments, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to the first person, I guess was Elise that did the author, because that's pretty good. But
Our word is agent.
but
We're all searching for the agent.
oh god. So go ahead, Elise, if you could write to us on our email, thevirginauthors.com. It's virgins@virginauthors.com, I think, right?
I can
Yeah.
give you her information.
Oh, good. Thanks. Never mind, because then we'll send you.
Elise has been one of my biggest supporters. I've known her for over 30 years. She's been one of my biggest fans. So.
Yay.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks for tuning in, Elise.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to go.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
all. Have a great night.
So much. It was awesome. You're so nice
Bye.
to talk to.